Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. The country is in total shock because the residents of northern Kenya today took to the streets in support of Rigathi Gachagua. For those who've been following the political developments in the Republic of Kenya, a few weeks ago, the Minnesota fraud saga erupted in the US and in the Republic of Kenya. And Rigathi Gachagua, as usual, offered his opinion. And that opinion by Rigathi Gachagua caused huge political storm in the country.
The most recent allegation that investments in Isli, including the development of the largest mall in East and Central Africa, were financed through proceeds of fraud in Minnesota.
And the statement by Rigathi Gachagua was then politicized.
Let leaders from northern Kenya not lecture us about affirmative action. Since 2013, Wajir County has received 99.6 billion Kenya shillings. Marsabit County has received 76.83 billion. Garissa County has received 81.7 billion shillings. Mandera County has received 119 Kenya billion shillings. They have the opportunity to develop institutions of the highest standards possible in Kenya. Not just for the children of those areas, but for the children of Kenya.
Because remember, William Ruto is planning to win in 2027. And one of the regions where that winning, in quotes, or if you like, you can call it rigging, is supposed to take place is northern Kenya. And as we speak, there are attempts to register the voters of the northern Kenya because there's this narrative that they've always been marginalized.
Calling us all manner of names and saying our territory is underdeveloped as a result of our inability to manage. And when they themselves, their track record is in black and white. If you are fired as a government officer selling relief maize, you don't have the moral authority to talk to me about corruption. The developmental gap between this region and the rest of the country cannot be attributed to or cannot be explained by either CDF expenditure or equitable share money, developed money expenditure. No. Fact of the matter is we have done more.
Hawa watu wameshikana na Kasongo. Pesa yote wameiba. Ukiona ile pesa imepelekwa Northeastern uende huko. Hakuna shule, hakuna hospitali, hakuna chochote. Wamechukua pesa, wameenda kujenga South Sea na Isili. Sisi kama viongozi wa Kenya ndio tutatetea watu ya Northeastern. We are calling for a special audit on how funds for devolution, equalization fund and CDF ile imepeanwa Northern Kenya imetumika vipi? Why are there no institutions? Why there is no visible development despite the billions of shillings that have been allocated in those areas? Na unajua sasa kwa sababu ni wezi na wanaogopa kushikwa, wanaenda kwa Kasongo wanasema tu tamu. Hata ukiwa mwizi anasema usishikwe. So it's up to the residents of Northeastern Kenya waanze kusema one term ndio Kasongo apindue fikira zake. So we are going to speak for the people of Northeastern. Those children deserve good schools.
So today's demonstrations, in my view, is significant politically speaking. And allow me to ask you this question. How do you think Rigathi Gachagua has managed to remain politically relevant after he was kicked out as the deputy president. Because as we speak in the Republic of Kenya today, when you talk of the opposition, who is the face of the opposition in Kenya today? Rigathi Gachagua. Most Kenyans had expected that Rigathi Gachagua was going to disappear just a few months after his impeachment. But he is still politically relevant. How do you think he has managed to remain relevant? Probably we need to do a comprehensive analysis how Rigathi Gachagua has managed to remain politically relevant. In this video, I want us to analyze the political significance why the residents of the northern Kenya took to the streets. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go straight to my first point. Number one, Ruto is hoping to win or to rig in northern Kenya. The truth of the matter is that if you walk in each and every part of this country, you'll find Somali people. But their numbers are very few. And there is the narrative that most of them were not given IDs because they were in opposition previously. And sometimes I ask myself, because if I go to my village in Nyakach, I'm told, you know, look up in Somali. You go to Sondo Market, they are now there. You go to Siaya, for example, Siaya town where they never opened it to many people. Today, if you go to Siaya, you'll find the Somali community there. So there is this attempt by William Ruto, especially after falling out with Rigathi Gachagua and the mountains started drifting away. There has been this attempt to ensure that the northern Kenya people are registered as voters, and also they are given IDs, because you begin by giving IDs and then you register, so that when the time for IBC to register voters will arrive, then their numbers will automatically shoot. So when Rigathi Gachagua made that statement, it was expected that it was going to backfire on him. But now, after some time, he has managed to win that propaganda war. In fact, today, the residents of the northern Kenya are on the neck of their leaders, because Rigathi Gachagua has managed now to tilt the pressure back to the leaders. Number two, there has always been this narrative of the rivalry, business rivalry between the Kikuyus and the Somali community. In fact, at some point, I think before the last election, it was even worse. There were people who were claiming that the Somali community are taking over businesses in Nairobi. That you close this bar today, then tomorrow it's turned into a very decent restaurant. You close this bar, restaurant, to an extent that we had so many Somali owned businesses in Nairobi, and of course it worried the mountain, because in Kenya, the mountain have always been perceived to be the business-oriented individuals. Now the Somalis came. In Isli now, you go there, all of it is them, and they're developing. So someone had expected that this rivalry was going to be exploited. But now, with Rigathi saying that statement, and now they are supporting it, how do you then come back and try to exploit it? Number three, politics is a game of numbers. For Rigathi Gachagua, now he has the opportunity. If the resident can buy that, then he might actually be able to penetrate there. What Rigathi needs is numbers and also support outside Mount Kenya. I see an opportunity for Rigathi Gachagua. The only problem with Rigathi Gachagua is that he commits a lot of political mistakes. But without those political mistakes, I can assure you, Rigathi Gachagua is the right person now to go to northern Kenya. Raila did it because you see the northern Kenya were marginalized. Then Raila Odinga went there with hope. He sold hope to them that tukichukua hii, this will happen. We will have devolution. You will be able to do your things, and that's why the first cesarean section was conducted in northern Kenya. Really excited the regions, and importantly, there has been this attempt, I don't know whether it will succeed, but to some extent, Rigathi Gachagua is also making it succeed, of projecting Rigathi Gachagua as a tribal leader. Someone wanted to also take advantage of this to sell Rigathi as a tribal leader, trying to undermine the northern Kenya region. But now it has flipped back. And lastly, there has always been the excuse of historical injustice. That the northern Kenya is not developed because of the historical injustices, which is true. But Rigathi is now challenging them that you guys, this is the amount of money you guys have received from Devolution. Even if it can't be enough, can the leaders show us what it has done? You see, when in 2017, I think there's a time we went for a rally in Wajir. Then you are chartered these fixed wings. I can tell you, you go with all those leaders. They bought the the plane, you go with them, even the local MCA. Then from there, you finish the rally, then all of them again come back to Nairobi. So we are wondering, how are these guys even managing to attend assemblies? So for this, I think it's a big score for Rigathi Gachagua. He has to figure out how he can sustain it. Otherwise, if he won't, he's going to lose that war again. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.